We're coming up on our 1 year quarantine anniversary. Well, at least for the states who are under stay at home orders, a quarantine has changed the way we do a lot of things, including our relationships. And our next guest is a conscious intimacy and relationship expert, and she's here to give us some advice on how to spice things up in your relationship. Welcome, Coltrane. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great. Thank you for having me. It's so good to be here.
Of course. So, what are 5 things that we have to stop doing in order to attract our soulmates?
So, this is a great opportunity now that we are still on lockdown to actually do the inner work to stop attracting our wound mates and
Oh, I
attracting
love that.
our love mates. So, or our soulmates. So, the first thing that we would stop doing would be to stop the self-judgment and the self-criticism. And a lot of us are at home and we're not having a great time, not doing the same things that we love doing. So this is an opportunity to see how much we criticize ourselves. And the reason why we want to stop doing that is because sometimes when we criticize ourselves, we're also practicing that criticism of others. And if we don't think that we're the most magnificent thing on the planet, how is someone else going to think that too? So this is an opportunity to practice radical self-care and radical self-love. Um, the second thing would be to stop trying to please others and to come from a place of pleasing yourself first and filling yourself up with all the things that you love, the juiciness that you are. And
Yeah.
from that place, you can actually give more to others. And that is very attractive energy, right? And then this is the hardest one, which is to stop looking outward for validation and happiness and love and actually start. This is a great time to do it. Start the inner work and the inner journey to
Yes.
know yourself fully. This is radical self love because we're going to discover what your shadows are, what your victim energy is, or what kind of energy you're actually exuding out in the world. And if we understand who we are and fill up those holes, we're not actually going to attract that person who's going to try to fill us up and complete us. What we're trying to do, I'm assuming that all your listeners want a soulmate, somebody that will like walk this journey with you in the hard times and the good times, instead of poking at your wounds, actually helping you to heal the wounds. So you have to know yourself first. And
Yes.
the next thing I would do is to stop dating. That sounds
What?
weird, but yeah, I know what. Yeah, stop dating because at least, well, you can't right now.
Right?
I guess you can, but what you want to do is you want to stop dating and you want to go on a dating diet and you want to start dating yourself. A lot of people
Yeah.
have don't date themselves. They don't know what they desire. They don't know what they like. What would it be like if you were having dinner with yourself and you actually took the time to be on a date with yourself and had a great relationship and a great time with being alone with yourself and loving yourself and juicing yourself up. And then from that point, you actually aren't serving another person. You are calling in the being that you desire, that if you imagine your perfect soulmate, you have to be that perfect soulmate to actually call them in. And so dating yourself is great practice to understanding what you love, what turns you on, and what lights your soul on fire. And that's what you'll call in. And finally, the last thing would be stop ruminating over the past and stop imagining the future. What you want to do is you want to feel as if you are in soul relationship right now, and that must feel exciting, blissful, yummy. And when you have that feeling already in your body, that's the kind of person that will come in when we leave lockdown, when we're hopefully spring. When you have all this integrated in your body, you're going to go outside and you're going to be a beaming light of love in the flesh who will call in that higher vibrational person.
Yes, and that energy definitely exudes outward for sure. So, Valentine's Day is next month. And for those who may be single, what are some things that we can do for self love and self appreciation?
Okay, so self-love, radical self-care I talked about.
Yes.
Um, am I allowed to say this on TV? We radical self-care includes understanding what turns you on. So radical self-pleasure, knowing what turns you on. And so there's a lot of things we can do to get to that point, which is in Ayurvedic medicine or Ayurvedic wisdom, there's something called Abhyanga, and it's self-touch. And it's touching your entire body to give yourself that hug, that those love hormones that we need. And so to feel great and settled in your body is a turn on. And when you're turned on, the world is turned on. And so, as I say, self pleasure, I also do mean sexually too, where we could just understand what our body needs and offer it to ourselves before Valentine's comes up, because then all of a sudden we are lit up so we can light up others. Learning how to flirt with yourself so that you can light up yourself and light up another person.
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah,
So, you released a book
yeah,
called Love Avatar during the lockdown. So, what obstacles
yeah.
did you go through during lockdown and how did you overcome them?
So thank you for that. So I during in March, I guess, we were locked down, and I had also some personal issues going on with in the family, and it was really, really torturous and really devastating. And I had to go within and say, what is the opportunity that this pandemic is offering us? What is that opportunity to see something as an opportunity versus something happening to us? It's happening for us. And so I wrote this book, my book, Love Avatar: Unleash Your Divine Feminine Superpowers and Awaken the Goddess Within, because as we could see in the world today, there isn't a lot of feminine power out in the world. We are still working with a outdated, toxic masculinity. And I think it's time that women or people who identify with feminine energy start to ignite it so that we can resurrect a divine masculine, if you will. So my book is really about purpose, soul purpose. How do you align yourself with your soul's greatest desire? How do you align yourself with the right doing in the world, like what you are meant to be doing on this planet in this lifetime? The great thing about that, getting aligned, is it opens you up to soul love and your soul purpose. So I wrote this book for the rising of the feminine, for people who are on the path of opening up to their highest self. And it is, again, like all things, a journey within, and it's the soul retrieval, trying to just get rid of the shadow and step into the light that we all need right now.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Coltrane, for joining us. These are definitely some great tips. Thank you for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course.